Hello everyone, and welcome back to more Eternal Darkness!
The war to end all wars redefined how mankind looked at war and the value of human life. Over 19,000 men lost their lives every day in the trenches of the Somme. Some say uselessly, some invoke a higher cause. I read accounts of the slaughter from many journalists who spent time in the trenches, but I found the account of a certain Peter Jacob to be the most horrible of all. His implication about the ancients' involvement with the war was hideous and so obvious. With the horror of the Battle of the Somme scant miles away and the distant echoes of pounding artillery, a young journalist named Peter Jacob researched his latest story from the front lines. His grim task brought him to Oubliette Cathedral, now transformed into a field hospital.
I find no solace in the purpose behind all the senseless violence that surrounds me. Young men die at a rate unheard of in centuries of warfare. Shelling, machine guns, and mustard gas rip, pierce, and burn their flesh. Men soak gauze in their own urine to stop the insidious gas. The hospitals here cannot cope with the torrent of wounded.
Well, just wait until the 1930s and 1940s. Oh boy. I'm not sure which war had the higher body count, but both were bad, I'm sure. This first part of this chapter, we will be picking up a number of files. Of course, I will be showing them all off. This is an interesting time period to have in a video game. I know there are some shooters, Medal of Honor being one, that I believe has a game that takes place in this time. Either this or World War II, probably World War II. But I could see a military shooter take place in World War I times. But it's different seeing a horror game have a chapter that takes place in this time. And I talked about this early in the LP, before I had played the whole game. Yes, we are in this cathedral. This is our final trek through this cathedral though, so if you're getting a little tired of it, don't worry, this is our last time through here. It's interesting because we get a little taste of some different time periods that I haven't experienced in a game before, and it just makes me want more. So many of the games I play take place in relatively modern times, maybe slightly in the future, slightly in the past. I would say anywhere from the 1990s up until, say, the 20-teens. Or they take place in ancient Japan. So it's nice to see something that takes place in actual different time periods and different countries. But it's making me want more, especially since we go through the same areas. There are 4 areas that we go through in this game. The game does balance itself out pretty well. Just as you're getting tired of each of these areas, you don't go back to them again. So it's not too bad. If this game had been any longer, I think it would have overstayed its welcome. But fortunately, it does not do that. And this cathedral has had pretty good atmosphere each time we've come through here. The best was the last time we were here where it was all rainy outside, but hearing the sound of a war in the distance is pretty chilling when you think about it. It's not typical horror, obviously, but in some ways it's even more scary because that's something that actually exists in our world, unfortunately. And with the way things are going with our society these days, well, we might be seeing another one at some point. Who knows? So this is the chapter that I discover a spell that you're going to see me use a lot from here on out. I would say from this video through video 12, you'll see me use it a lot. Video 13 is going to be the final boss and pretty much nothing else, so I won't be using it there. Which is good because we'll be playing as the lovely Alex. And we don't want to use that spell as her if we can help it. Although I will. Because it's very useful. What else do you want me to talk about? We're just running around collecting files. I should have at least read them so that I could at least talk about what they're about. But that did not happen. Why? Because I'm lazy. That's right, son. I have the authority to be here. Now get the hell out of my way, Private. No time for you, Private Dancer. Bonus points to anybody who knows what I'm referencing there. Huzzah, we have a weapon. That's not good. I know I'm stating the obvious. So I've been rewatching Ty's playthrough. If you look on the sides, you'll see statues of any of the characters that we've played as who have died. You can actually take a closer look at each of them. I had no idea, or I would have showed that off in this LP. Of course, I could take my GameCube back out of the closet, plug it back in, and record some of that, but I'm not going to do that. So if you use the Reveal Invisibility spell with the Purple God, which Ty missed by the way, which I think is hilarious, we become invisible, which is excellent. I don't think you actually need to waste your time fighting that thing, and that's why I'm not doing it. We don't come back through here. We will want to kill these things. I don't think I knew that at the time, but I will end up shooting the 2 or 3 that are in here. You don't want to take these guys on with a gun when they can see you, because they can matrix dodge your bullets. Okay, game. Disturbing noises, kind of annoying. I can't really make fun of the sound too much. The sound is actually pretty good in this game. It's no Silent Hill, but it's pretty good. And I'm just stuck trying to figure out where to go because my character is all black and it's really dark. Yes, I want the rifle. Thank you. You're not really going to see me use it very much, but I want it anyways. I think this is where I start to avoid some combat when I can. There's another bone thief in here, but it can't see me, so I'm not too worried about it. So in here there are some bullets. I don't know if I find them all. And there are zombies that are fighting. So I was talking, I think 2 videos back, about how enemies will fight each other, and some of those zombies were fighting each other there. If they're aligned with different gods, so say if you have a red zombie and a blue zombie, or a green zombie and a blue zombie, or a red zombie and a green zombie, they'll fight each other, because they're aligned with different gods. Which is pretty cool. So now that we have a torch, it's at least a little easier to see. Screw you! Actually, I don't know if those are zombies or mummies. They might be mummies. I think mummies are the ones that are easier to burn with the torch. But we are going to want to remain invisible, and I probably could have put a shield on me, but I guess it's not super important since they can't see me. avoiding combat is always a good thing. The combat in this game, it's interesting. I think it's an interesting advancement for this style of gameplay. I've talked about that before. Yes, we have a sword, so now at least if we have to, we can engage properly in combat. There is a boss in this chapter, but you do not need to save your guns for it. You don't want to be using guns in that boss fight. We are going to pick up something else that you will want to use. You would think that Bone Thief would be like, hey, why is there a torch just floating in the air? That's kind of weird. I don't know if there are 2 or 3 of these things in here, but fortunately most of them will leave you alone for the time being. I am going to have to deal with one over to the left, because I'm going to have to use some magic, which is going to get rid of my invisibility. The only thing I saw in here were some bullets. Always nice. And I'm just trying to find the door to get out of here. Damn it, game, I'm just trying to find the door to get out of here. Come on. Jerk. Right now we're just on a supply run. It is kind of interesting how they do that loud banging that's pretty intense as their way of telling you where to go in this game. It's pretty intense. I kind of like it, but I don't know if it was used effectively or not. I'm going to say probably not. So now our goal is to turn on the generator. It's a 2-step process. I'm not sure that generators work that way, but that's fine. Yep, trappers. They're not too dangerous. They do die when they trap you, at least. But they are still annoying, and since we have all the magic we need, I don't really feel like going back into their dimension. Speaking of trappers, we are going to need to create one here. You can flip that lever either before or after doing what we're about to do. It doesn't matter. Ah, finally a little bastard that will work for me. And I just go with the red one because we're dealing with the green god. I'm not sure if that's the right course of action, but it works either way. And then you just target whatever you're looking for and hit the attack button, just like normal combat, and it traps it. Huzzah! So, phase 1 is complete. Now on to phase 2. Well, in a minute. First, we want to pick this up. This is our next spell upgrade. And as you can see, this is our max level spell casting. So I had to go through all of the spells that we have and create both the 5-point and now the 7-point versions of those spells. It's kind of annoying. I wanted to show it off once or twice, but otherwise you're not going to see all the creating I had to do. I'm not a fan, but I did want to show this off once, just so you could see how it works. And I think I talked about this on the video where we got the 5-point spell. If you just check each spell that you have, it will tell you what runes you need to create that spell. So it's pretty easy to do. So if we use a full heal, that will refill our health, magic, or sanity to full. Actually, I'm not sure on magic because you use magic to do it. That might not. But health and sanity can be filled to full with one spell. It does use a lot of magic, of course. That shield spell will be a lot more effective. You'll have a lot more orbs around you. Now we need to use an item. There it is. And I believe we have one more thing to do. And we'll have a little more light at least. I'm still going to walk around with the torch. More often than not. Did they have generators back in World War I times? I know. I'm just trusting this game to be historically accurate. So even though the spell is going to be taken down whenever I use another spell, it's still going to be useful for dealing with these bone thieves. Since he can't see us, he can't do his matrix dodging when I shoot him. Which is pretty cool. So there are 3 in here. Because I know where another one's gonna fight me later. It is hard for me to see in this room because of how dark it is and my character being cloaked in shadows. That would be a badass ability to have in the Tenchu games. I don't think they ever gave you any kind of shadow ability, but it would be awesome. I suppose it would defeat the purpose of that game, though. Either way, it's organ playing time. Look at what a musician I am. I'll have that band Devilry started any day now. Or how about False Devilry? That could be cool too. Oh, you bone thief. This guy gave me a lot of problems, so that's why the jump cut. I literally just moved over a few feet to the right. And these videos are long enough as it is. Anytime I can cut from them is always a good thing. I'm guessing that bone thief is the thing that came crashing through that window when we came up here. I thought we got our 7-point magic spell here too, but I guess not. It was just the 5. Since we obviously got the 7-point in a different room. But now, we have a door handle for this thing. I'm surprised they didn't make us use the repair magic to repair it and then use it. I'm not complaining about that, I'm just surprised. I can't remember if there's melee combat in this video or not. I'm sure there probably is. There has been in every video to this point. And it's been a few days since I've played and edited this. But it is interesting. I was talking with a friend on Discord, and I showed him my video 1 of this LP, and he immediately thought of Dead Space, the combat in that game, which I thought was really interesting because I never thought about that before. But that is one of the things that you have to do in that game, is try targeting limbs. And in this, they have that mechanic where you can target different body parts I'm trying to target the head of this thing and it's not working. And eventually I say fuck it and just target the only flashing point that this thing will actually target. I imagine some of that is a product of the camera angle. I really wish I showed off our fallen heroes in that Tome of Eternal Darkness room. I've already taken the time to take my GameCube away from my TV and put it in the closet, along with my copy of this game. Oh, it's trappers, which means ranged weapons. That's what you get for trying to trap me, you jerks. To be fair, they didn't actually try to trap me, but they would have. We all know it. I really love this spell. In some ways, this game is kind of broken with the magic they give you, but I personally love it. Because if you want to be a hardcore gamer and have a challenge, you don't have to use these different spells, but if you like a fairly easy run through and you're just looking to experience the story, then these spells really help out with that. So it's kind of like you choose your own game mode between hard, medium, easy by the way you play, which I think is really cool, and you can target that thing, but you can't do anything to it as far as I can tell. I don't know if that's a rat or what that is. So I actually think that's a really interesting design choice for this game that I'm just now noticing as I talk about it. I kind of like that. Determine the game's difficulty based on your playstyle. I think more games should do that. The more I learn about this game, the more I appreciate it. It does have some issues. I don't think we get a proper resolution to that plot about the conspiracy in the church. I think we'll see that head priest guy one more time. And it's kind of implied what happens to those people, but it's kind of anticlimactic, given the way the story was set up. I hear more trappers. It took me a while to find these trappers. And it's really dark. So there will be some editing in here. You're not missing anything. When I can, I will have the torch out. But when another friend shows up, that happens. I remember this place. We fought some bone thieves over here. Now we're just picking that up. That is 5 vials of a liquid that will refill your magic. You absolutely need that. It will make the boss a lot easier to deal with. I don't think we've picked up the spell that we need yet. We are going to get a really good magic spell. That's absolutely important to beating the boss of this level. And does make life easier throughout the rest of the game. Geez, maybe we don't have melee combat this video really, besides torching some enemies. There it is! This is our attack spell. And keep in mind you will want to create the 5-point and 7-point versions. I'm pretty sure I only use the 3-point version because it's quicker. You're not really going to have time to cast the 5 or especially the 7-point. And for some reason they tend to miss a lot. Right, I said we would be in this room at some point. Several videos back when we saw Pius recruiting this thing. Try to dodge that as best you can. If it grabs you, shake it off. Whenever it glows like that, use a magic attack. I think you can technically shoot it when it's glowing, but you're going to do more damage with magic. And since this one is green, we're of course going to use red. This boss gave me a lot of trouble. It was pretty easy to figure this section out, but I had a little trouble with the final phase. The music in this boss fight is pretty good. I actually don't mind this boss fight. It's a little annoying. My problem here is I don't have the camera angle I'm used to because I did have to try this fight several times. So right here I'm trying to get back to the camera angle that I'm used to. And I end up getting way too close to this thing, and that can happen. There we go, that's what I was looking for. Now I can get into a system for this fight. I'll take some time to heal when I need to. Anytime I run out of magic, I'm going to use one of those elixirs because I don't want to wait to recharge my magic. So whenever it spawns a zombie, it's going to glow and you can attack it. That will not only attack the boss, but it'll attack the zombie as well. So 2 birds, but with 1 stone. This phase is the easiest of the 3. Once you know what you're doing. There's just a lot of waiting. This is probably actually the best boss fight in the game. I'm not saying it's great. This game doesn't excel at its boss fights. Damn it, game. But it's not too bad. This phase is a little dull, but that's my only real complaint. Oh yes, kids, we are not in a cutscene anymore, so we need to get moving. The problem I was having, I was getting stuck on the environment trying to run around that hole in the center where this thing is. So once I figured out that if I just ran around over here, I'd be fine, things went a lot better for me. The only issue that I have is timing when to attack this thing. It does make a sound which I'm talking over, but if for whatever reason you're using my videos as a walkthrough, when you're playing you'll hear a sound to let you know when to get off a quick magic attack. I'll try to not talk over it the next time. So you might have heard that. I actually talked over it, but that will be muted because I said I wasn't going to talk over that. So if you just listen for that sound, if nothing else, then you should be fine. Especially if you're playing this and you're visually impaired. I just go with 3-point attacks. Take that, you damn guardian bitch! That's revenge for all the people you were eating. That's right, it eats people. So now let's go claim our prize, which I guess Alex will eventually pick up. And I just fired off the rifle because I couldn't remember if I actually used it at all. And I did want to show that off at least once. Give me! Mine!
And that was how I came by it. I know it sounds crazy, but there you have it. The only proof I have is that statue.
It's a strange one. I've seen one like it before.
You have?
Yes. Very rare, though. Very obscure.
I've had experts take a look at it, and none of them know what it is. And you do.
I'm somewhat of an expert on these things myself. An interest I developed a long time ago while I was a young man.
Then you should keep it. Lord knows I have no interest in it. I am sure it's the cause of my sleeplessness. I keep thinking about it, as if it's calling out to me.
Then a drink, perhaps. For the gift. For an unusual objet d'art.
I think that was Alex's grandfather and that reporter as an old man. I'm not 100% sure on that. Again, bad eyesight. But I think that's who those two were. Alright. So we're going to have to do the same thing, kind of like with each of these chapters. We do something in the chapter and then we have to do the same thing in the mansion as Alex.
Help me! Please help me!
Oh.
I can't get the blood out!
Interesting. Every time we get through with one of those chapters, Alex's sanity seems to be pretty low. I'm not sure what the dealio is with that. All right already. God. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of hearing the women crying and the babies crying. I will take that. And I'm sure we will make some use of that. Although, you're not going to really need to concern yourself with being cheap on ammo. We're not going to really use the bullets for boss fights. Once we play as Alex. Permanently. I say permanently. There's a thing in the final boss, which we'll get to. Just like turning on the generator in that World War I hospital, do that there. Now, come upstairs. I was thinking we were going to access that safe, but I guess that's later. There's a safe in there that we will get to. At some point. But we've got another page to pick up. And a note to read. There you go. I hope those files are nice and interesting for anybody who actually takes the time to read them. I still wish I took the time to actually read them.
You are not free to leave this plane until you complete a task for me. You are to hunt and kill the master of this house. Do this one thing, and you will be free. Else fear the wrath of Xelatoth. Everything is complete for your arrival, Master. Now we must wait for the planets to align, and that is not too many years from now. Another Roivus has crossed our path. This time, we will not be so merciful.
Mercy has no place in this world. It has only a place for me.
He will meet such a horrible death that the rest of the line will never set foot in his house again.
Pray to me that they don't.
Pray to me anyway.
Well, I wouldn't be so sure of yourselves. Y'all didn't count on Alexandra Roivus. The beauty, the legend. I was trying to find a good camera angle to end the video here on, but we're going to step outside for that. Thanks for watching, and I will see y'all next time with more Eternal Darkness.